And let's bring in NewsNation political contributor and Princeton University political scientist, Dr. Lauren Wright. Tim Pawlenty was a Minnesota governor and 2012 Republican presidential candidate, and former New York State Senator David Carlucci, a Democrat. Good morning to all of you. Thank you for joining us. Dr. Wright, I'll start with you. I mentioned a new Quinnipiac poll earlier in the show. It finds 16% of voters are open to changing their vote based on the candidates' debate performances. How much do debates normally impact elections? Do you think this one is more crucial, especially because it's so much earlier than we're typically used to seeing before an election?
That's a really good point, and especially because we know these candidates and there's an opportunity for them to compare their records. You would think it'd be more informative, but really for a general election debate, yes, they get a lot of eyeballs because of the spectacle of it, and I think that actually benefits the former president. But primary debates are usually the ones when we talk about presidential debates that voters use to figure out information and distinguish the candidates among each other. So I think very exciting for both bases. A lot of people will be watching, understandably so. But as far as changing minds, I'm not quite sure.
And David, President Biden and former President Trump had this famous exchange in the 2020 debate. Let's take a quick look.
Vote now.
Make
sure you, in fact, let people know you're a senator.
I'm
not going to answer the question.
Why would you answer that
because
question?
the question is,
the question is, Justice, radical left.
Will you shut up, man?
Will you shut up, man? I remember a lot of merch coming out with that statement. David, is this what Democrats want to see? President Biden really going after the former president, or could it backfire?
Yeah, it's a blessing and a curse with Donald Trump having the mic cut. It's an opportunity for Biden to get his issues addressed, to address the facts that he hasn't been able to do otherwise. But it's also a blessing for Donald Trump because it doesn't allow him to put his foot in his mouth. It allows him to be less unhinged, less ability to talk about those conspiracy theories that will definitely sink his campaign. This is an opportunity, like we talk about, 16% are open to changing their minds. Pew Research, they show 4 out of 10 Americans have not made up their mind yet or are just not paying attention. New eyeballs on the race, massive opportunity. It's going to be about style over substance, and that's where these candidates need to shine. I'm hoping that Joe Biden will just show that energy, show that ability to be commander-in-chief, and the facts matter less. It's more about that style and how they deliver.
And Governor Pawlenty, millions of Americans will be watching. How should former President Trump approach tonight's debate?
Well, I think there's a minimum threshold or hurdle for each of these candidates to get over. In the case of President Biden, it's going to be, does he have the requisite mental and physical energy and strength to convince persuadable voters, that small number of persuadable voters, that he's set to be president or can be president for 4 more years. And in Trump's case, he has to show those persuadable voters, which is really the target audience, can he be something less than a total maniac and give them some assurance that he's going to be a more responsible, measured, thoughtful candidate? He's not ultimately going to be that, but even 10 or 20% may help with some of those voters. And again, these two candidates are looking at 2 main objectives: drive your base vote, maximize that as best you can, and 2, try to draw in those persuadable voters. And those 2 goals are a little bit in tension.
Yeah. And NewsNation political editor Chris Steyerwalt had this advice for the moderators tonight.
Don't start soft and get tough. Be tough. Come out and ask them hard questions. Don't wait and don't mollycoddle and pussyfoot around and then get up there and finally say, like, well, now we're going to do this. You come out and you throw heat.
Dr. Wright, how much pressure is on CNN to keep this fair?
There is a lot of pressure, and we've seen all these sort of procedural changes in response to criticism of previous debates. And this is the whole reason, is people want to see a fair show. And, just to add to the point the governor made a second, I think it's so important. In any other year, and this is the substance and the style issue that David talked about too, Trump would be ahead clearly in this election because he's got the issues on his side, on the economy, on inflation, on immigration, on crime, top issues for voters. They want a reason to vote for a Republican, but it's only himself and his personal grievances that are going to get in the way. And that's the bait. And I don't know how the moderators will handle that, but it's really his tendency to shoot himself in the foot.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Go to joinnn.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. Also, don't forget to click that red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.